njengoba sivumeleleke balaleli-ke bohlelo ukuthi esizokwenza sizoba nomongameli lapha weqembu libizwa nge-ATM, i-African Transformation Movement, ubaba, ngithi ubaba ngoba ngimbeke esigabeni sobubaba njengomuntu wesilisa, but insizwe esencane and umholi-ke weqembu i-ATM njengomongameli, the president of the ATM, which is African Transformation Movement, ubaba uVuyo umfoka Zungula. Ngiyafisa ukuthi-ke sithathe leli thuba sikwamukela ohlelweni baba uZungula, bingelela abalaleli bethu bokuhle bamanguni online radio.
Siyabonga, ngithanda ukubingelela, bingelele wena msakazi, bingelele bonke abaphulaphuli, ngasho ukuthi ngusekile ukuthi ngibe lana namhlanje.
Number 1, siyabonga kakhulu baba. Lesi siteshi esikuso mangakunikeza nje just a bit ubuhle bamanguni lokho online radio, njengoba wazi ukuthi-ke sikulento ye-4th Industrial Revolution, sekuxhakaxhakeni beze internet njengamanje, umhlaba wonke uhlangana ndawonye kwi-province yethu yesi-10 ye-internet. Sizithola-ke sibusisekile uma sikwazi ukuthi-ke sithole abantu ababalulekile abafana nami beze bezokhuluma nathi kulo msakazo. Umsakazo wobuhle bamanguni, ngiyakuzwa ukuthi uyathetha isiXhosa futhi uyasikhuluma isilungu nesizulu futhi uyasazi ngoba vele nge-base like KZN njengamanje. Ukhululekile ukuthi ungakhuluma noma ngabe yiliphi ulimi ngoba vele seNingizimu Afrika ekhululekile nezilimi ezi-11 bese bophalwe nge-sign language, right? Ubuhle bamanguni-ke njengoba igama lizisho ukuthi-ke ubuhle bamanguni, amanguni yithi sonke laba amaXhosa, amaZulu, amaMpondo, amabhaca, zonke lezi zizwe lezi amaNdebele njalo njalo, siyinto eyodwa. So ukhululekile baba ukuthi-ke express yourself ngalo limi lolo ngoba you be speaking from your heart uma ukhuluma ngalo limi lolu ozizwa ukhululekile ngalo lwasekhaya lwengabadi. Baba Zungula, asihlale odabeni abalaleli bethu beme ngomumo, sibancince sathi abalalelisise ngoba inkulu indaba iyeza. Ziningi izinto ezenzekayo ezweni sakhile. Nansi ATM iqhamuka njengeqembu elingedala kakhulu kodwa eliphethe imbono ethize engicabanga ukuthi kukhona lapho engasilekelele khona. Ngingathanda ukuzwa noma bazi athatha nje sisuka amadaba ukuthi ithini inhloso, i-vision yeqembu, mission yalo, likhandelweni leli qembu ukuze kuba khona i-ATM khona wadedeke nje mase sibe suke into zabo abantu bakhulume ngomshini sithi cha akahambi njalo, yabona. So clear out that and just let us know as to kumnandi uma uyithola from the horse's mouth. Yes.
Ngiyabonga sakazi. Lana i-ATM ngicabanga ukuthi mangiqala ukuthi isungulwe njani na?
Yes.
Isungulwe i-ATM isikakhulu ngabantu besonto.
Yes.
Namakhosi, nabantu bomphakathi ababekade bengekho involved kwinto zepolitiki. Inhloso yayo was to make sure ukuthi kubuyele abaholi, firstly abamesabayo uNkulunkulu.
Yes.
Abaholi abanonembeza, because uthi uma ubheka izinto ezenzekalayo lana eSouth Africa, you can trace ukuthi zonke you can trace ukuba kufe unembeza lana kuthiwa i-conscience. That is why ubugebengu buphezulu kakhulu, inkohlakalo iphezulu, i-corruption iphezulu, because bonakalisa ukuthi kufe umuntu basically.
Yes.
Singasho ukuthi lana eSouth Africa silawulwa okanye siphethwe ngabantu abaphumileyo kulento bayiyo, which is ubuntu, abantu, because umuntu umbona ngobuntu, amboni ngokuthi abene limbs ezi-12 yonke lanto, but umbona ngezenzo zakhe, izenzo ezibonakalisa ubuntu. Now ukuba uzothatha abantu abangenabuntu ubabeke ekubuseni abantu, uzoba ne-society lesibonayo, i-society unabantu abaningi abahluphekayo, abantu abaningi abaswelileyo, because aba bantu abaphetheyo abakwazi ucabanga, bacabangele abanye abantu. So si-ATM city, you can't fix the economy, you fix crime, you fix all of these things ungakalungisi ukuthi umuntu ophetheyo unjani na, umuntu lona kwi-society unjani na. That is why masikhuluma si-ATM sinama values esithi siyafisa ukuthi South Africa ibe i-values driven society, because sithi makube khona uxolo, peace, because you can't lead a society whereby ufuna kube khona uxolo throughout the country if you do not have peace yourself as a leader. Utubona each and every time, for example, manje makusuya kuma-elections, abaholi bey'nhlangano ey'ningi bayaxabana amongst themselves. Kusho ukuthi there's absence of peace phayana. Uphinde kube khona another value which is ubuntu. Oba umuntu ngubuntu ngabantu. Meaning a leader, you are only a leader because of other people. You can't be a leader because uthi awuvotelwe. You are a leader because you exist to serve abanye abantu. Ube ne-transformation because we're saying we need to transform our country. We can't conform to the existing political structure nezinto ezenzekayo when it comes to our politics. Be servant leadership, meaning our leaders must be servants. They must understand ukuthi bona they are in government to serve abanye. Eyokugcina ibe accountability, meaning umuntu ozothi mayinikezwe i-responsibility akwazi u-account ukuthi i-budget isinikeziwe to fix indlela provide free education, zonke ezo zinto imali ethize thina sebenzise imali ethize, because the reason why kukhona i-corruption eningi kangaka, they are not accountable. So what we're saying thina si-ATM ukuthi let us have that society whereby izoba ngama-values, because uma ubheka lama-values i-society izokwazi ukuphilisana kakuhle, at the same time abaholi bazokwazi uhola isizwe kakuhle. So uma ukhuluma nge-ATM ukhuluma ngento efuna ukushintsha umqondo first, because ungazama ezinye izinto but if umqondo akamshintshi then zonke izinto zomoshakala.
Alright, mlaleli lapha ekhaya noma lapho ukhona ulalele khona ubuhle bamanguni online radio, sikhuluma lapha nobaba Vuyolwethu Zungula ongumongameli we-ATM, which is African Transformation Movement. Ukhuluma uyenaba esihlahlelela le ndaba yokuthi iyini kahle kahle i-ATM imelele naziphi iy'nselelo, ibunjelwa siphi isizathu, nokuthi ke ibhekephi ke going forward. Uthinta indawo eziningi ke lapho, uthinta ku-education, uthinta ku-economy, uthinta nama-values yakhelwe phezu kwawo njengokuthi uxolo, ubuntu, inguquko, nokuthi babe ngabaholi ke abathumekayo ukuthi ke besebenzela abantu. Khuluma ngonembeza, khuluma ukuvuseleleka konembeza ukuthi umuntu ngabantu. Kuningi okuphakamisile lapho mongameli. Siyabonga ukuthi ukusikhanyisele ngoba kwenza ukuthi isizwe kangcono, sazi na kangcono. Le nhlangano ngicabanga ukuthi ayindala kakhulu. Kodwa ke kuyezwakala amava ewabekayo. Well, balaleli lapho nihlezi khona ke emakhaya siyanxusa ukuthi ke nis-engage nibe kanye nathi in a form of ama-voice notes, and ningasibhalela futhi ku WhatsApp number yethu, nikwazi ukuthi ke nibuze imibuzo, mhlawumbe nincome uma nifuna ukuveza incomo, nihlabe lapho nihlaba khona njalo njalo, ngoba angithi sakheka kanjalo. Yes, nansi inhlangano ikhona ikanye nathi njengamanje. Inhlangano ziningi ikhona ezibusayo ezweni laseNingizimu Afrika. Sengizwile ukuthi ke nehluke ngalezi indlela lezi osochaze ngakhona. Ngiyathanda ukuthola ukuthi now yakhiwe ibunjwa ngamakhosi, odlunkulu, ama-queens, abefundisi, njalo njalo. Inhloso yikho lokhu ukuthi kuvuselelwe zonke lezi zinto. Now umuntu ohlezi khona ozobe evota, mhlawumbe evota okokuqala mathiwa kuyavotwa. Ngikhuluma lokho noma ngizobuza lokho ngikususela enkulumeni osoyivezile kulo mbuzo wathi sowubuze ngenhla. Ikakhulukazi umuntu omusha. Yeah. Umuntu omusha sibona inguquko eziningi ezikhona ezenzekayo, because ucishintsho oluhlezi luzokwenzeka whether sithanda noma sithandi. It's better to be armed with facing the change, sibe proactive. Now kule mfundo esikuyo ngifuna ukuthinta kakhulu kuleli phosi lemfundo lokhunjani sikhuluma ngalo ukuthi kune COVID esiphazamisile. Ingane azizonke izinsuku esikoleni, uma ziyile kodwa futhi nakho uzifundile zaphasa ezinye eziphasayo, uyabona nakho ama-results wabonile ngendlela aqhamuke ngakhona. Ithini take ye-ATM if you were to be in power at some point? Beningafeyisana kanjani nale nguquko ekhona, especially when it pertains to education department? I believe ukuthi i-education department yona is a mother, which is the mother of all the other departments. Kuqala esikoleni lento yokusuka manje sisuke from a normal classroom physical sihlale phakathi sihlale deskini sifunde nothisha siya ku internet siyofunda laphayana what could be your take uma kuthiwa you were to be in power beningayenza kanjani ukuthi spearhead lento iqhubeke phambili iengele beningayingena ngayo bengathini
mawukhuluma nge-education befanele iyona department ethola the most investment because ukhuluma nge-future yelo lizwe. I-problem with education lana eSouth Africa une-education system ezimbili. Une-education system yabantu abanemali, abantu abakwazi u-afforda, uphinde ube ne-education system yabantu abangathathi ntweni. Now, kusho ukuthi there's going to be two types of South Africa and yonke lanto iqala from the educational level, especially the early childhood development kulapho iqala khona. So into esikhulumayo thina siyi-ATM ukuthi there must be equal opportunities, there must be one South Africa, not a case whereby if umuntu unemali abazali bakhe banemali abe now exposed to more opportunities, more educational opportunities, but lona ongathathi ntweni abe limited because mawubheka lezi zikole which is your private schools okanye labantu banemali mawuzothi namhlanje nizofunda online ilula lanto because ezindlini zabo ama-TV ane-internet ama-computer ama-tablets zikhona but ekhaya webhaka usokola just uthola ugesi how much more ukuba kube khona i-tablet okanye kube khona i-TV okanye kube khona i-laptop. So you can't uthi abantu mabarashele is the fourth industrial revolution in that regard because izobekela abanye abantu ecaleni. So what we're saying thina as the ATM is that you need to uplift the infrastructure education, number one. Secondly, you need to make sure about the izinto ezifundiswa esikolweni zikhuluma with the current needs of umsebenzi okanye of the economy. Awukwazi ukuthi ngo-2021 abantu abanye the students from early ubafundise okanye ba-expose to ama-career opportunities asayiphelile because ngoku ziyatshintsha izinto. For example, there are new opportunities, that new job that could be created because of isikhathi esikuzo. So that is why there needs to be transformation to make sure that lento umuntu ayifundayo esikolweni, most importantly, sifundisa ingane zethu to be job creators instead of them looking for imisebenzi because ngoku yonke into the education system ifaka lanto ukuthi go look for a job. Once upase kanje, you are going to qualify as into ethize, ufumane umsebenzi ezinto ethize. Whereas it should be saying, for example, you've got, for example, lama skills, the artisans. Fancy balana, if you want to be a plumber, it does not take outding even investment engako and capital engako. If you want, for example, to be a musician, you know, if you want to be a YouTube blogger, you know, because funasi kuluma about the current status of our country, current opportunities as koyo with the economy. So our education system must empower and open the minds of ingane zethu so that ingane zethu are able ukuba dominate the economy. Izolo msakazi bengihleli with abaholi be-unemployed graduates movement.
Right.
Now, but they've got more than 2 million unemployed graduates in South Africa. That clearly shows that our education system is not producing abantu that will be able to be active economically. So that is why thina society transform the education system. Make sure that the infrastructure, umuntu osesentini okanye somhlanga, uyakwazi ufumana the equal opportunities nomuntu ohlezi ezilalini, nomuntu ohlezi kwanongoma, so that kube khona those equal opportunities, so that ingane zethu zikwazi ba equal. Because if asikwazi uyilungisa lonto, then we are going to keep on having this unequal society. We ask what South Africa is the most unequal society in the world, and lanto is facilitated by a lack of the transformation in our education system.
Well said. Okay, mlaleli lapho khona uyayizwela ke ukuthi ke uthini ke umongameli ke weqembu i-ATM lokho akushoyo kuhambisana ngamashini nokushiwo iqembu kusho umongameli kusho iqembu le-ATM bathi by transformation and movement kakhulukazi kule sector education masimbuzo umbuzo yaveza ukuthi they need to have one South Africa and uplift le ndaba kulungisa infrastructure sokwazi ukuthi ke senze sibe lento eyodwa kunzima mhlonishwa ukuthi kube khona abantwana baku grade eyodwa kodwa bathola izinto ezingefani uma kwenzekile kwavalwa izikole bavakashelana abantwana for whatever reason bakhuluma ilanguage engefani but they are in one grade and the same grade
and kwezinye inkathi uthola ukuthi ukuthi 60 or 70% yabantu abaqala ugrade 1
yes
they drop out without even ufika ku grade 12 so kusho ukuthi our education system iyafaila if more than 60% gets kicked out of education system lena yethu now uzibuza ukuthi lo muntu ongafinyelelanga ku grade 12 uzophangela kuphi what opportunities anayo now lo muntu yena that is well off abazali bakhe banemali uyakwazi uba aphumelele afike ku grade 12 athi maseyifile ku grade 12 afike varsity so yena is always ku advantage nasekufuna imisebenzi always ku advantage even if it's to start a business une advantage because of the exposure so that is why any government any caring government mawunengane let's say 05 you focus on leningane that is least developed ukhuphule yona instead of investor kule ingane and that is more developed than the other so we need a government that will just focus on developing ibe deliberate in focusing on lama communities nezingane zihlupheka zikwazi ukukhuphuka then ke ngokuzizokwazi ulingana nezinye ingane from ezinye communities ezi well off.
Thank you so much. Siyabonga kakhulu. Kuyezwakala baba. Isikhathi njengamanje 7 minutes before 1 o'clock isikhathi ke sisiqagula sikhona lapha endlini zokusakaza sikunumber 12 Scott Road la ePhindane eNew German lapho sikhona mawufuna ukuvika uzosivakashela usibone njalo njalo. Sizohlelwe ke lapha ke injobo yethumelwa ibandla. Sihlezi lapha nomongameli weqembu iATM esehlule esicacisela ngeinhlelo ze-ATM as a movement ukuthi ke yikuphi abakuphethe yikuphi abayimisele ukukwenza in our changing society njengoba sisezi nje siphila sihlezi njengoba ngishilo ngathi isikhathi awubheke siyagalona isikhathi sinjalo isikhathi manihlezi kahle ngikhuluma into ezibalekile sithatha sibe sifuna ukugijima kakhulu kodwa ke sis-allocate lesi sikhathi ukuthi sifisa ukuthi nawe umlaleli lapha ekhaya ukhona ubhema ukholwe uze ubambe iqhaza nawe ngokuthi uthumele umqhafazo wakho usitshele ukuthi uzwani ngabe unemibuzo ngabe uneyincomo ethize noma ufuna ukugxeka ngokwakhayo eqenjini elikhona njengamanje ngoba sinikeza iplatform yokuthi akungathiwa abantu bale kude asikhona ukuthi sikhulume nabo baxakekile njalo njalo siyabonga nje mongameli ukuthi nakho uzavailile on our very first call ukuthi sicela ukuthi nize nizokhuluma nathi lapha emsakazweni sithemba futhi ukuthi kuzolokhu kuba into eqhubekayo angiphethi kangigeqo namagula njengoba ngikhuluma
la yabonakalisa ukuthi masisithi sizi 7 leaders
yes
we mean it because i7 umayibiza ukuthi wozala sifuna uzokhuluma nani
yes
we'll always avail ourselves because that is what we want to bring abaholi ubabize bazokhuluma nabantu because umholi makathi mayifika officeini abephethe zonke izinto ezifuna ngabantu not yena izinto azifuna ngokwakhe so masilana thina si-ATM siyakwazi ukuva ukuthi abantu bafuna sikhulume ini siphazama kuphi mase sicabanga ukuze sithi masifike eParliament sikhulume exactly lento ifunwa ngabantu
wathi indaba enkulu yeParliament ngokuqhubeka kwesikhathi sizogcina sifikile futhi lapho sikhuluma ukuthi kwenzakalani kuleya ndawo leya ngoba ilasithathelwa khona ilapho imithetho yonke igcina iphase khona njalo njalo uza kuthi lapha ungiphakamisela umunwe engilaye number awuzeke uza kuthi ngihlezi esinaye lapha ukuphakamisa umunwe ngiyabona ukuthi uhluleka kuyibamba ayidedeleza ukuthi uphawule
mangamele
baba
iyaphileka kodwa
siyaphila njani
siyabonga kakhulu ukuthi ufike emsakazweni ubuhle babantu online radio usomsaza semncane usafika kodwa sibonga ukuthi ukwazile ukuthi mesithi mengameli sicela uzochazela abantu ngezinto ezibalekile ezweni lethu laseNingizimu Afrika ungakubukeli phansi lokuthi abantu abazi yaqala ukuzwa ufike oqanje ngicela ukubonga inhlonipho osinikele mase ngena embuzweni engifisa ukuthi ngiubuze la igama umsengatheni khona ngisebenza khona la ekhaya engifisa ukubuza la ukuthi sekukhulunywa kakhulu ngendamaqembu amaningi ngendaba yokubuyisela komhlaba kubanikazi bawo ngabe iATM ithini kulolu daba lolo uma ukuthi nani namsana nokuthi umhlaba ubuyisela kubanikazi bakho. Iyiphi indlela enizokwenza ngayo ukuze nenze isiqiniseko sokuthi uma usubuyela umhlaba kubantu bawusebenzisa ngendlela ezobazuzisa ngengomso.
Makhuluma ngenkinga yomhlaba lana eSouth Africa. Inkulumo yomhlaba ayikhulumi ukuthi kunabantu abaningi abamnyama abanomhlaba. Mawuthatha umhlaba nikeze uhulumeni, ukhuluma ukuthi umhlaba uninzi layo usezandleni zabantu abamhlophe. So that is the problem. So ukuba uyayikhuluma lanto, you just focus on land nakanjani na uzogeja. But we just need to focus ukuthi the problem yini ile 86 or 87% of the land that is in the hands of a minority, which is abantu abamhlophe. So the intention of ukhuluma ngomhlaba on this ulungisa lenkinga is to make sure ukuthi lana eSouth Africa we don't have a dominant race, because mase sikhuluma iqiniso ukuba sihamba ngokwamanani, if black South Africans are 80% lana eSouth Africa when it comes to population, befamba they own 80% of the economy, they own 80% of umhlaba, etc. Because if you go to the prisons, they are more than 80% payan. So it can't be ukuba the crimes abantu abarechwayo the prisons majority abantu abamnyama, but on the side of the economic benefiting it is abantu abamhlophe who are in majority. So that is the problem when it comes to umhlaba. So when we are saying umhlaba, the state must be allowed to expropriate umhlaba without compensation, so that when investigation is done to show ukuthi kunosibani lana owathatha umhlaba wabulala abantu abamnyama ngendlela embi, the state must be able to say, let us take lo mhlaba siubuyisele kulo muntu, and not allow ukuba la muntu lowa must sell umhlaba, because that is another problem. Because once abantu banikeze the capacity to sell umhlaba, it means the gains of the expropriation without compensation could be reversed easily. Mase sikhuluma iqiniso lana, if you go to le ndawo sihlala kuzo eMlazi nazo zonke lezi kwamasu, le ndawo ufanele ba unabantu abahluphekayo, mawufika phana umuntu omhlophe onemali athi ngizokunikeza 20,000 each, ngifuna ukuthenga sonke isistrato senu, chances are because belambile bazoyithatha la mali. Meaning in the next 5 to 10 years you may have 80 or 90% of the land being owned by abantu abayi-minority legally so. Meaning in the future you can't awukwazi ukuyilungisa yonke lonto. So umhlaba must be returned, but there must be protection to say you can't just sell umhlaba lona to avoid ukuba uphucwe into that is an asset kuwe because awunamali. Secondly, there needs to be an assistance, because mawukhuluma ngomhlaba abantu bavese bakhulume nge-agricultural land, which is amafama, whereas it should be the land in its entirety, from your ocean economy, yonke into edibenise nobutyebi bomhlaba, not limited to amafama. There are mines, South Africa in a coal, in a resources eziningi. So what we are saying is that those resources must belong to the people of our country, and the best way to do that is having the state to intervene. When you have abantu that are able to work umhlaba and benefit from umhlaba bebodwa, it is fine when they've got the means. But in some communities whereby you need the state to intervene, it says the state must intervene, isize abantu to benefit from umhlaba wabo.
Thank you so much Mongameli. Ngicela ukuthi ngiphazamise kancane kulokhu, ngiyabona musugoqile vele ngokumbuzo. Udadewethu usefikile uzosifundela indaba, somnikeza ithuba ihora lokuqala nqa njengamanje.